So I recently took a position as the GM at a restaurant where service was an issue. The first couple of weeks, I've been trying to improve the service standards and general attitude of staff, but it almost feels like some of the staff have banded together to reject me as superior. Any ideas to handle this situation?
This is actually a quite common problem, I would say, correct?
I mean, absolutely. Well, number one, kudos to the restaurant for realizing that, it was on management and that there was a change that needed to be made.
From just needing new management.
Just needing new management. To bring a new manager in, a lot of times it's tough with the status quo to say, you know what, we need to shake the whole thing up. So,
Agree. And, with this individual coming in here and walking into, and everyone's been an employee. They understand. They see somebody new coming in. They go, oh no, my world's about to get rocked. I'm so used to just couch surfing in this business where I'm making my money and I get out of here without doing X, without doing Y. And now the employees know each other well. It sounds like they've worked together for some period of time. And they're making it hard for this new manager to come in here and make these changes. So she's really asking, how do I get around this? How do I fix this problem? And I think there's multiple different ways to look at this problem and multiple different solutions depending. We don't know some factors. How big is this restaurant? Is it a small restaurant? Is it a larger restaurant?
for sure. But I actually don't think any of that matters, like the size of the restaurant or even how they operate, whether it's, a counter service or full service restaurant or however it is. I think the big thing to remember is you're coming in as a new manager. There's two things. There's two major keys. One, you're not there to make friends.
True.
You want the respect of your staff.
Yeah.
You don't want everybody to just hate you, but you're not there,
for everybody
to like you. You didn't come in to make friends with the staff. You came in. The reason why you're there is there was a situation beforehand that had changed. And obviously the staff is going to be part of that problem and part of that solution. The second thing to remember is that as a manager, the staff doesn't work for you, you work for the staff. And obviously that sounds like it doesn't make sense at all, but
super cliche.
If you really break it down, the manager of a restaurant or the management of a restaurant is there to make sure all the parts are operating correctly.
A utility player.
A utility player. So it's their job to, in a full service situation, if a server is in the weeds, help
that person out.
Help them start a table, help them, with the water, figure out what it is that they need and be that person. If the bartender is in the weeds, jump back there and bang out a few cocktails. If the expediter is in the weeds, get back there and start plating some dishes or running some food. And that's how you're working for your staff. You're doing things for them that they need you to do.
Operations running smoothly.
And the key is to put them in the position to be successful.
Correct.
If the manager is not doing those things and they're not setting their staff up, then no one's going to succeed. And that's the important part to come into. The second part is the staff there might be some problems within the staff that they just don't want to change. So the first thing I would do is if there's, obviously two staff members or a group of staff members, depending on how big your staff is, that are like kind of together, start splitting those people up and figure out who are your people, like who your key people, and who are the people that are carrying out what the business wants to do, and put those people with the people that need a little work, kind of split it up.
I think that's usually quite easy to spot and feel out as well.
And then if it's the whole staff, which is not as common where the entire staff is against the management, but if you have a situation like that, then the first way to do that is to start hiring some new staff, start training the way you want things to be run into that new staff. And if the old staff isn't picking up what you're putting down, then you need to pick them up and put them outside.
And there's another danger in that as well too. When you start hiring the new staff, if you don't do it fast enough and create the turnover fast enough, then the old staff starts to poison the new staff to some extent.
Well, you want to be it's not so so much quick as much thorough. You want to make sure as you're hiring and bringing them in, you're explaining them to exactly what
Training them properly
so that they know what's going to be expected of them, and that they don't get into a situation where they're caught not able to succeed.
So you're just setting them up for success.
Yeah,
as much as possible.
That's it.
Yes. Well, it sounds like this was quite a simple solution.
Simple as it sounds, harder to
It's much harder to
execute.
Yeah.
It's hard to separate yourself sometimes, from when the whole staff is like, hey, we're all going out for drinks later, and then you don't get invited. Sometimes that
creates
hurts.
some hurt feelings. Sometimes.
But we're not. Again, that's the difference between
here.
management and staff. Sometimes you don't go out for drinks afterwards.
Justin, are you envious when the staff goes out, though?
I'm sorry?
Are you envious when the staff goes out?
For sure, he's not.
No,
For sure.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's part of age. But I hope that answered your question. And, again, don't hesitate to not leave us a voicemail, right? We want to get these things on
Don't
here.
hesitate to leave us a voicemail.
That's what I meant. What I said. You heard me.
We all know what you said. That's why I said it better.
Call that voicemail number. Just leave the message, 203-541-0762.